Hi there, everyone, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. My name is Christian Eschbach, and today I am going to be looking at a cover album, a tribute album to ZZ Top. This is ZZ Top, a tribute from friends. Okay, so I stumbled across this album purely by fluke. I was in a major electronics store. I'm not going to mention any names, but you know, the one that's got the big yellow emblem, two B's in it. Anyways, back when they had CDs, but they were getting ready to phase them out because they didn't want to carry a lot of them. They had some weird ones in there, and this happened to be this weird one I had never heard of, didn't know it was released, anything. This was a 2011 release. I don't think I stumbled across it until probably, I want to say 2014, 2015 by the time I stumbled across it, maybe. So, anyways, I want to get into this because this has got a great mixed assortment of musicians performing basically your standard ZZ Top songs. You know, there's nothing interesting or eclectic or anything. This is a best of album, okay? And that's why I'm covering it, because basically when it comes to me and ZZ Top, for the most part, I'm a best of or a greatest hits fan. I've seen ZZ Top live. I think they're fantastic live. You know, I know every song that they play live when they play live for the most part, but once again, they only play the greatest hits live for the most part. So, you know, that goes with that. So let's get into these tracks. Okay, so the very first song on the album is Sharp Dressed Man. This is covered by the M.O.B, and that is M.O.B. Now, the M.O.B consists of Mick Fleetwood, guess which band, Steven Tyler, Jonny Lang, and John McVie. Now, if you don't know some of these names, Mick Fleetwood, Fleetwood Mac, John McVie is also from Fleetwood Mac. Guess where the Mac part comes from. Anyways, and Jonny Lang, you know, he's really just this great solo musician, blues musician. Fantastic. So basically, you've got this super group put together to do this song, and it's smoking. Oh my god, the way that they rip into it. First off, Steven Tyler is doing the vocals, and I believe, you know what? I wonder if it listed in here what instruments he's doing. Yeah. Let's see. John Lang handled all the guitars. Steven Tyler does the harmonica and the vocals. John McVie does the bass. And Mick Fleetwood is drums and percussion, along with some of the other stuff in here. Anyways, just killer cover. And it sounds like the guys were all together practicing it in a studio and laid it all down together. It doesn't sound like it was a bunch of guys that kind of recorded the pieces bit by bit together. Now, if they did record the pieces bit by bit together, kudos to them for making it sound so good and making it sound so tight. But this really is a tight band doing a hell of a blues-esque, almost more bluesy than the original Sharp Dressed Man, you know, because it doesn't have that 80s pop flavor to it. It's got that actual blues kind of vibe to it that is ZZ Top at their core. Next song we go on to, Mind Blower, of the first song that was on here. Now, they did the song completely in their style, and because of that, it gives new life to a song that really is a little overplayed and cliche. Filter, as in, you know, hey man, nice shot, Filter. You know, and they have a very distinct sound, a very distinct style. Now, that very distinct sound and style is 100% on here. You can tell this is a Filter cover without a shadow of a doubt. But they do Gimme All Your Lovin'. I really, totally dig this rendition of Gimme All Your Lovin' because the way that they rip into it is fantastic. And it's them. You can tell it is Filter, without a shadow of a doubt, doing a ZZ Top cover. Perfect. Perfect. It is what you want to hear in a great cover from a band. From there, we go on to a band I have never heard of before, Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. Now, the reason why I've never heard of Grace Potter and the Nocturnals is my understanding a little more country than I listen to. And it's completely understandable. You can hear it on their cover, and they do Tush. So, first off, I love the fact that you got this country girl singing with those classic country girl style vocals. Like, she has those little weird high notes that they hit where they kind of almost squeal, but they don't quite squeal. But I don't mean squeal in a bad way. I mean that cute little country girl squeal that they do. Stuff like that. And the way she just sings it and the way that the band gets behind her and they deliver the song, it is fantastic. Like, I mean, they really give it, and they give it such a great country-esque vibe to it, but that country-esque vibe just makes it once again do what happened with the M.O.B on the first track, which is it gives it more of that original kind of bluesy sound that, you know, is ZZ Top. Now, this is a country blues, and you can definitely hear that it's more of a country blues because it doesn't sound like the original version, but it's still the original version. It's just someone doing a great cover of it. All right, next song. The band that covers Legs makes sense. There is no other band that should cover Legs besides the band that I'm about to say, really, when I say it. This band catches a lot of flack, way too much flack, as far as I'm concerned. I understand why they catch it. I understand why people like to take a dump on them. But their cover of Legs is awesome. And I like the band. I love Nickelback. Sorry, folks. Don't care what the hell anybody says. I really dig and enjoy Nickelback, especially on their hardish stuff. I don't like the Bon Jovi light fluffy crap that gets them played on the air and all the girls like, okay? I'm sorry to sound sexist in that case, but that is literally the point of those songs according to the record companies, okay? That's why they've released so many of them. I've read the interviews, I've seen the interviews, I know how they honestly feel. Now, Legs is a great cover. Now, they are honestly friends with Billy Gibbons too, because Billy Gibbons does appear on their song Rockstar. So it makes sense that they did Legs. And also being that it's Legs and it's Nickelback, that also makes sense, okay? So the whole way around, it makes sense. It's a good, heavy rendition. Flat up, Nickelback covering Legs. That's it. And I like when Nickelback does covers. They've done some really, really good covers as far as I'm concerned. All right, now we're going to get on to some more interesting selections for bands that are on here, and it leads to some really cool covers. We get into Wolfmother doing Cheap Sunglasses. Perfect song for Wolfmother. Interestingly, though, Wolfmother, well, it sounds totally like them. If you've ever listened to Wolfmother, or, you know, it is totally them. But they don't do all the exact same cliche echoes and trippiness and that was done by ZZ Top on Cheap Sunglasses. They take it and they put their own inflections and their own spots on it, and I think it sounds fantastic. The way that they treat this song, I mean, it's the perfect song for Wolfmother to do. It's really the only ZZ Top greatest hits kind of song that Wolfmother could do. There's some other ones they could do, but this is really the song that was meant for them. And I just absolutely thrilled by it. After that, we go into Duff McKagan's Loaded. Now, this is Duff McKagan of GNR. I have the biggest man crush kind of on Duff McKagan, I'll be honest with you. Duff McKagan is a man that I look up to, and is a man that everybody should look up to. And people are going to be like, oh yeah, because, you know, rock star, coked out, vodka swilling junkie. That was the man that he was. The man that he is a man that deserves respect and admiration because he was that man and he became the man that he is now. Now, all that aside, all my love affair for Duff McKagan aside, Duff McKagan's version of Got Me Under Pressure gives it very kind of, okay, You Got Me Under Pressure, the original one is kind of just like, if you look at it, You Got Me Under Pressure, it's kind of straight up. It's got, like just kind of to the wall. Duff McKagan's Loaded, instead of being You Got Me Under Pressure, against the wall, it's ramming right into it, just head first. Like, it's the inflection of the music is just like, he punks it. Like, Duff McKagan at his heart started off as a punk musician. There's that punk edge to this, that leaning forward, that leaning into the wind, that throw your shoulder into it kind of. And I really like it. Going to, Duff's old coked out habit. That's kind of the edge that it's got to this. It's got that sharp edge where it applies to this. I know Duff was definitely sober at this point, I believe. At least he wasn't doing coke at this point. But that edge he captures and he goes forward, which applies to this song. If you've ever listened to the lyrics on the song, it totally makes sense what he does with it. And I know some people that don't like it because of what he did with it. I really dig it, and I really love the way he gets into it. Okay, next song. It is the most mind-blowing song on this album. And the reason why it is the most mind-blowing song on this album is it doesn't sound like the band at all. It totally, it's a mental mind fuck. Sorry, I'm going to say it. Coheed Cambria. First off, you hear Coheed Cambria, the first thing you would want to think is a Rush cover album or, something like that. Iron Maiden, something with some high range in the vocals. Something with some major ass, way overblown instrumentation. You would not expect to hear that Coheed Cambria are going to be on a ZZ Top album. No. Then they are doing the song Beer Chasers and Hellraisers. This does not sound like Coheed Cambria at all. I hate to say it, because of the way the vocals sound and almost the way the music's being played and stuff like that, it almost sounds like it's Kiss doing this song. I shit you not. This song is so mind-blowing with this rendition. This is why I keep swearing while I'm talking about it, because it just really... Wow. I cannot get over how it sounds on here. Just whew. Okay, and then I had another one where it just blew my mind again. My best friend Drew, who if you ever hear me talk about when I play in a band or whatnot, I have played with my best friend Drew my entire music life in every incarnation of any band I've ever basically played in. Dude is a master of guitar because he listens to everything and anything under the sun. Mastodon, he's a monster fan of. So he wasn't surprised by this. I was floored because any Mastodon song I had heard prior to this, man, heavy, brutally heavy, comes down like, thunder, fast, monstrous. But, to hear them do Just Got Paid, and it sounds like the heaviest mother of all blues songs I have ever heard. Holy crap. It just thunder and blues, man. It's a Mastodon playing blues. Really, okay? Wow. Okay. Now, there's another mental mindfuck on this album. I don't care for it. But it's because I don't particularly care for the style of music that it was done in. I'm not a big reggae fan. And this next song was done in a reggae manner. It is done beautifully. The arrangements are beautiful. The delivery is beautiful. Everything about it is amazing and wonderful. I just don't care for it. That's all it is. If you are a fan of Wyclef Jean, he does Rough Boy. He does a beautiful rendition of it. It is wonderful. It is fantastic. I just don't like it. I'm sorry. But if you are a fan of his rendition is fantastic. His playing of it is wonderful. What he does is just... his is the most original take of any of the songs that are on this album. 100% hands down the most original variation of any of the songs on this album. And for that, I will give him props and I will give him utmost praise. I just don't like it. I honestly skip the track every time it comes on because I'm just not a fan of the style of music. I'm going to apologize and say, sorry, but, I'm allowed to not like some styles of music. Okay, after that, we go into Daughtry, Waiting for the Bus. Jesus just left Chicago. Daughtry, however you want to say it. First off, wow, they were allowed to get on this album? And then you hear them on this album, you go, whoa, I understand why they got on this album. Really, really impressive. Really, really good. I really enjoyed it, and they do a nice cover. Of all the covers on the album, it's probably except for the, Rough Boy cover, which I skip. It's the one I probably listen to the least just because, it's... but to be fair, Waiting for the Bus, Jesus Just Left Chicago. I feel the same way about the Daughtry version as I do about the ZZ Top version. It's an okay song, but it's just not one that works for me. It's like ZZ Top's song Brown Sugar. I understand why some people like it. It's just not for me. All right, and then the album finishes off with Lagrange. Or Lagrange, whichever way you want to say it. Now that song had to be on here. It had to be. I mean, you can't have a cover album without that song, right? Once again, though, they went country-esque with this one. It's Jamie Johnson. No clue prior to this. But Jamie Johnson totally went more country-esque with the blues on it. Sounds great. Perfect way to finish this off. The whole way around, this is a fantastic cover album. If you like ZZ Top, you need to go pick this up, listen to it, and enjoy it. There are certain songs, depending on how you feel, you may not care for them. If you do not like certain styles of music, this album is not necessarily for you. If you don't like Nickelback, you're probably not going to like the Nickelback version of Legs because it's Nickelback. If you don't like industrial sounding music, you're not going to care for Gimme All Your Lovin'. If you're like myself and you're not a huge fan of reggae, you're not going to care for Rough Boy so much. But to hear the variety of different artists on this album contributing all their different styles to a great blues rock band, it's absolutely thrilling and delightful, and really, once again, you should pick up this album, check it out, give it a listen, because it will impress you. My thoughts, anyways. So, those are my thoughts. Leave me your thoughts. Hit subscribe to get the notifications when a new one is released, and otherwise, peace, love y'all, and take care.